Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1938 Corona Standard vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Absolutely beautiful. You can see your reflection in the finish here, like a mirror. Behind the carriage are the margins, and you just push the top button like this and you can move. This is your right margin and this is your left margin. You just want to make sure that the margins are in between the two paper fingers up front so you don't get stuck on them. That looks pretty good enough. And we're just going to move that paper finger on the right side to the edge of the page. These paper fingers are adjustable, but as you can see, if the margins are too close, you're going to run into those. So I'm going to move it a little bit. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1 or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, there's a switch right above the line space. Move it to the front of the typewriter and it skips 2. That works good. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line and switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. You flip that all the way up to the red dot. Prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle on the white dot, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. And when you have it down below on the blue dot, it prints the top portion of the ribbon. Beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite typewriters of all time. I just love the look of it, the glossy black paint, the flat top. The print looks really good. It sounds good. This is as classic as it gets when it comes to typewriters. It's the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it sounds. Everything is just beautiful. Almost 100 years old and it still works perfectly. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side. Just flip that down and it unlocks the rollers underneath the button, allowing you to pull the page out easy, or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. Got a shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top right keyboard. Looks good. And open the hood. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch that direction, this lever on the left side, just flip that up and it'll start pulling to the left. We're going to keep that down to pull to the right. And there is touch control in here as well on the left side here. If you move it up higher, it loads a spring, so when you hit the keys, you gotta hit them a little harder for them to print, but they respond faster. The lower you go, the less pressure you have to press when you hit the keys, but they don't respond as fast. And margin release below the backspace is when you get to the end of the margin, it blocks you from typing, and if you hit that margin release, it'll allow you to go all the way to the end. That works good. Carriage release on each side behind the knob. Very smooth carriage. This is just an all-around classy typewriter. I really like this typewriter. It's probably my favorite of all time. And when you pull the knob out on the left side, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. If you push it in, you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is a space. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.